What's up, guys? It is Brandon from the Two Piece Mandem, and welcome back to a match preview. So I'm freaking knackered. It is Chelsea versus Newcastle. This is the match preview. The last time we versus Newcastle, we basically got a draw against them. Obviously, if you haven't seen the PSG match reaction, then go check that out. You know what happened there. Also, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe as well. Man, trying to get 10k by the end of the year, so hopefully, oh my flipping neck. Hopefully, we can get that. All right, so let's get into this, man. Newcastle are no easy team whatsoever. So this was PSG in their last game. They remember playing Trippier, Lewis Hall, Dan Burn, Thor, Ramsdale in goal. Usually it's Nick Pope, Ramsey, Tonali, Joe Linton, Harvey Barnes, Osula, and Alanga. That was their Champions League game. Now, we all know that the threats that they have were Anthony Gordon and Walter Maid. But for me, they're not the real threats. For me, it's this man over here, Tonali. This man over here, he didn't have the best of games, but in the Premier League, he's been turning up. In the Premier League, he's been one of their best players. Let's call it for what it is. Tonali has been an absolute unit for Newcastle United. I think he's a threat. He's a threat. He's the one that's going to break up play. He's the one that's going to cause Chelsea problems in the middle of the flipping park. Mark my words, that's what he's going to do. He is a huge asset for Newcastle United. A huge asset for him. Also for me, that Nick Walter-Geezer and Anthony Gordon, they're also going to be threats as well for Newcastle. Newcastle are not going to be no easy team. They're not going to be a team that we're just going to roll over. I wish it would be, but it's not like that. When we verse teams like Leeds and Burnley, we can't even get a win over them at our home ground. So going to flipping Stamford Bridge, going at our home ground and facing Newcastle is not going to be no easy task. If anything, it's going to be long. You see the game where they drew 1-1 with Barcelona. Realistically, they should have won that. They should have really won that game, if we're being honest with you. But a penalty helped them at the end. And even when they versed Manchester United, they were down to 10 men. They were down to 10 men and still got the W. Still got the W. Look, you see a man like Anthony Gordon getting an 8.4 in the game. Tonali 7.2. Joe Linton as well was a massive threat as well in that game. So Newcastle is no easy team. It's going to be very, very tough. It's going to be very, very tricky. And they basically break on the counter-attack. That's what they do. They're going to try and sit back and they're going to hit us on the counter with pace from either Anthony Alanga, Harvey Barnes, and Anthony Gordon. They've also got Nick Watermine, who's been helping them as well. They haven't been on greater form as recent. If we have a look at their form hasn't been amazing. They're like an up and down team, basically inconsistent like us. As you can see, a draw, loss, win, loss, and then a win. So very inconsistent. So you never know what Newcastle team you're basically gonna get. It's as simple as that. You don't know what you're gonna get with Newcastle. As with us, on the other hand, we are on woeful form. We're on woeful form at the moment. Let's just call it for what it is. So in our last 5 games, we've basically only had 2 wins. We've only had 2 wins in our last 5 games. And those were against Wrexham and Villa. We should beat Newcastle with ease at home. We should beat them. But I just don't see it happening. I don't know what it is. The form that we're on was so inconsistent. This Chelsea team is so inconsistent, and that's what frustrates me. That's what frustrates me to the core, how inconsistent we are. And you never know what type of Chelsea team you're going to get. It's either self-sabotage, like what happened last night. It's either a red card. Bro, you see Pedro Neto pushing the ball boy. Like, come on, what is he doing, bro? Like, you can't be doing that, bro. Hey, when you're with Newcastle, you can't be joking around with teams like that, because when you got Anthony Gordon running at you and Langer running at you, Harvey Barnes running at you, then you're against the physical impact and velocity of bloody Sandro Tonali and Joe Linton. That you know it's going to be long. Set pieces when they're going to clear it with Dan Burn as well. Another threat as well. They could score off a set piece. Newcastle are a major threat. They're a major threat. A major, major threat. And this is the lineup that I've selected to verse Newcastle. So yeah, this is the team I selected. In goals, Robert Sanchez. After Jorgensen's howler last night, he just shouldn't start a Premier League game, in my opinion, I'll be honest. Loan his ass to Strasbourg or something like that. Reece James put him back out right back in the midfield. I didn't really see much. He gave the ball away a few times and lost the ball a few times. Just call it for what it is. Buddy Shile. Now, I know this one's controversial. I know it's controversial. But Chalobah needs a break. Wesley Fofana needs a break because they both didn't have great games. They both had stinkers. We need to rotate. It's as simple as that, and this is who we've got. I could not put Tosin in. I couldn't put him in because I don't want to see Tosin at the club, I'll be honest. I want to see Saar play this game. I think Saar using his height as well. When Newcastle have those set pieces, he'll be useful to clear them out. Left back, for me, I think Joel Hato had a good run of form, to be honest with you. And you had to put Cucurella in because he's more experienced in those Champions League games. So I just want to put Joel Hato in there. I think he's been on decent form, to be honest with you. In the midfield, we've brought Santos back. I thought Santos has played decent, to be honest with you. He's passing, him winning the ball back as well. And I think he has to be there as like a physical presence in there with Caicedo. I know I normally put Reece James in there, but Santos has to be able to get that ball and pass it through the lines as quick as he possibly can. It's as simple as that. Left wing starting Garnacho. I think he should get a start. I thought he should have started against PSG, in my opinion. I thought he should have had a start. But yeah, they put Pedro Neto on the left. As simple as that. I mean, he did get an assist, but I just thought Garnacho would be more of a threat, especially since his confidence is up from the Villa game and from the Wrexham game. He was asking for the ball. He wanted it more. And to them not involve him in the PSG game, I think it's probably because of rest. And they're going to rest him and start him for this game against Newcastle. So I have Garnacho on the left. At Cam Enzo Fernandez, I mean, he was our best player against PSG. He deserves to start and he deserves to play in that position. Let's call it for what it is. Right wing now, I've dropped Palmer. I have dropped Cole Palmer, ladies and gentlemen. I've had to drop him. Or I've had to drop him. Alright, it's as simple as I've had to drop him. It's as simple as that. I just want to get serious. Palmer, you haven't been playing well. I have to be honest, you haven't been playing well. You haven't been performing. You haven't been consistent this season at all. I know you've had your injury, but you've come back with a couple of games and you really haven't done much. Even in the games against Burnley, the game against Burnley, the PSG game, the game at Arsenal, bro, you haven't performed. And I got to call it for what it is. Like, we can't give players minutes if they're not performing. It's just as simple as that. You cannot give a player minutes on the pitch if he's not doing what he's supposed to do. I think he'll be more effective coming off the bench against Newcastle. I think he'll just bring in a little bit more of that impact. Like, with 30 minutes of the game to go. Honestly, I think you should drop Palmer. But I just don't see this manager doing it. That's the thing. I think he likes him too much that he's going to start him. But realistically, he should have scored. And he didn't score. But we got to call it for what it is. I don't have any player favoritism or anything like that. Obviously, I do have my favourite players and everything like that. But if a player's playing rubbish and he's not doing his thing, I'm going to call it out. I'm sorry, I'm calling it out. I don't care. For me, Neto starts on the right. And to be honest with you, he got an assist. He got an assist for PSG as well, for Enzo Fernandez's goal. So you know what? He starts. It's as simple as that. He starts. Then up top, you know, João Pedro starting. Didn't play well against PSG. Well, didn't really have anyone to really feed it to. And let's just call it for what it is. He tried some link-up play. No link-up play was really holding up. He had a chance to score. Keeper saved it. Other than that, didn't really do much. But you can't fault a man that scored 6 goals in his last, 7 games. So his last 8 games. You can't fault it. He's on brilliant form. His confidence is high. He has to start. Simple. He has to start. It's as simple as that. I think João Pedro has played well for Chelsea. I think he's been one of our best players. I'm not sure if there's too much of an update on Esteval Willian. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what going for him. For me, he has to start. Liam Delap, mate. Freaking heck. I put you with the under-19s, I'll be real, bro. You have just been woeful, bro. I gotta call it for what it is. You have not performed whatsoever. You haven't performed. And now look at this. Look at this now. Look. Just coming off topic, this is what Pedro Neto has done, but it's not off topic because it's about the team and the starting lineup. But look, UEFA statement announced disciplinary proceedings have been instigated against Pedro Neto for unsporting behaviour in accordance with Article 15 of UEFA disciplinary regulations. UEFA's disciplinary bodies will take a decision on this case in due course. So, in other words, he's going to go through a fine, he's going to get fined, and he's going to get a match banned. Like, I don't know if it's me, but that's just how I see it. I think he's going to get a match banned, he's going to get fined for it, because those are the type of relegation he's going to do for that. He'll probably get, like, a further match banned, and this is what happens when you lose your head, when you lose your discipline. This is what happens. You do idiotic stuff like this that you don't need to do, and it doesn't make any flipping sense. You didn't need to do it at all. And it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy why he would do that. Like, why on earth would he do that? Why? There's no need to do that. There was no need to do that, bro. I'm looking at it as we speak, and the fact that he's just done that, it's just so silly. It's just so ridiculous, bro. You didn't have to do that. This guy, man, honestly. But yeah, back to the Newcastle thing. I just wanted to get off my chest. Yeah, that's the lineup that I would put. And yeah, that's the match preview, man. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your score predictions. I know this ain't going to be no easy game. For me, I'm probably going to say, 2-1 Chelsea. I say we scrape it. It's not going to be no comfortable performance because, you know, when you're watching this team, it's never a comfortable performance. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a red card, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a red card, if there's a goalkeeper mistake. Something always happens with Chelsea. There's always self-sabotage with this team. Something always happens, and I can't put my finger on what's going to happen. But I know this ain't going to be no easy game, and that's what annoys me. You can never watch a Chelsea game with peace, where it's 3-0 or 4-0. Last time we did that was probably Aston Villa, and that was from and before that was even longer. It was even longer than that. So yeah, get your seatbelts ready, Chelsea fans. It's going to be a long game. I'll see you later in a bit. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.